Welcome to the discussion boards and the TA support network for Bio 202. I'm Professor Joanne Souza, and I am the discussion board and teaching assistant administrator for this course. Bio 202 students have many people they can turn to help them learn the material necessary to do well in this course. You have your faculty members, your undergraduate teaching assistants, your graduate teaching assistants, and you also have instructional support assistants. You can contact any of us by using the contact information on your Blackboard course under the Faculty Information tab. However, we also expect you to do your part, to read the readings, attend and listen to lecture, and to participate in the discussion boards when they open. The discussion board objectives are, first of all, to learn to use scientific problem-solving techniques that are centered on potential falsification of information rather than on confirmation. This is how science actually works. You will be given multiple choice questions in your discussions, and you will be looking at each answer choice and seeking to falsify it. In other words, why could this answer be wrong? Rather than simply scanning for correct information throughout the different answers. The discussions, if properly utilized, should assist you in understanding the science, not just in memorizing details. The requirements of your post will serve to expose you to the scholarly primary source literature and applications of the science so that you can retain the information and understand how this information will be useful to you when you attain your career goals. Again, if properly utilized, they can help you do better on exams in this course, in later upper division courses, and on any necessary standardized exams such as the MCATs or the DATs. You will be doing a good deal of writing, so you need to know, first, how to search the university databases. You need to know how to avoid plagiarism from any source. You need to know how to properly paraphrase and cite your sources. And also, to know that the penalty for plagiarism in this course is an F for the course, and further academic judiciary action as detailed in this video. So we are going to ask you to watch this video in its entirety. Read the discussion board directions on Blackboard thoroughly and carefully. Read the discussion board grading rubric. Read the examples of graded posts. Then, take the quiz under assignment 0 on Blackboard. It is worth a potential 10 points towards your discussion board score, and more information will follow when the discussion boards actually open.
There are several ways to find scholarly articles using Stony Brook University Library's resources. This video will review a couple of those ways. The first is to search directly from the library's homepage, which is library.stonybrook.edu. Remember that you can search the library's databases while off campus by logging in using your NetID and password. Using this search box, which is also called a discovery tool, you can search a good portion of the library's collection, including many of the databases, electronic journals, and the catalog, which includes books and ebooks. Please note that not all of the databases are searched using this discovery tool. If you are not finding the information you're looking for, you may have to search a database directly, and we'll cover how to do that later in the video. From this main page search box, you have several options. You can search by keyword, title, or author. And then you can limit your results to only those items that are available in full text, or items that are peer-reviewed, or perhaps you just want to search the catalog only. These links here give you access to the catalogs, one for West Campus and one for the Health Sciences Library. This is a list of databases and a list of the electronic journals. But today we're going to do a broad search on X chromosomes and try to find some articles to use. Enter your search term and click search. Here we have our results. The first result is called a research starter. Many topics have these research starters which provide an overview on a topic. To the right, you see options to print, email, save, and cite. Formatted citations are available in this list for you to copy and paste into your Works Cited page. Back at our results list, we have over 136,000 results, which is far too many to wade through. So we want to add an additional term to start to limit our search. Click on Advanced Search, and now we're going to search on X chromosomes and hemophilia. So we'll add our search term, and we're going to use the AND connector. So here we're telling the database to search for the X chromosome and the word hemophilia. You see it's brought our results down significantly to 789. On this left side here, we can limit even further by telling the database we only want full text articles and we only want scholarly peer-reviewed articles. These scholarly peer-reviewed articles are ones that have been reviewed by experts in a particular field. We can also limit by date. Which helps to reduce the number of articles. Further down, you can also limit by format and publisher and location. So let's open an article. First you have this abstract, which will give you an overview of what the article is about. And here we have subject terms, which are a good way to find synonyms or related terms for the topic you're researching. And you can click on any of these subject terms, which will tell the database to do a search for those terms. You can open the PDF in full text, and now you can print or save your article. On this left or right hand side here, you have options here to print, email, save to a folder, and here you also have the important formatted citations. So if you're not finding enough information on your topic using the Discovery tool, you may wish to search other databases directly. If you know the name of the database you'd like to search, you can click on Databases and then on the letter corresponding to that database. So if I wanted to search Medline, I would click on M and then scroll down to Medline. And if you're not sure what database you should search, you can use the subject guide. Subject guides are research tools that are created by librarians to help you with your research. You click on Subject Guide from the library homepage, and then today we will search for subject guides on biology. Type in your search term and click Go. Here are your results, and today we're going to click on Biological Sciences. The subject guide tells you who your subject specialist is in the library and the contact information. And here it gives you some suggested databases for finding relevant information. Web of Science, Biological Abstracts, PubMed, and another really useful one is Google Scholar. If you need more help, you can always contact a librarian. You can use this Ask Us widget on almost every page on the library's website to either email a librarian or to chat directly with a librarian. Or you can email us or call us at 632-7110.
According to the Academic Integrity's website, intellectual honesty is the cornerstone of all academic and scholarly work. Therefore, any faculty can view any form of academic dishonesty as a serious matter. What is academic dishonesty? Academic dishonesty includes any act that is designed to obtain fraudulently, either for oneself or someone else, academic credit, grades, or other recognition that is not properly earned or that adversely affects another's grade. The most reported act of academic dishonesty, plagiarism. Okay, now what is plagiarism? We hear that term a lot. We receive over 100 reports every academic year to the Academic Judiciary's office. Plagiarism, copying someone else's writing or paraphrasing it too closely. I'll repeat that. Copying someone else's writing or paraphrasing it too closely, even if it constitutes only some of your written assignment without proper citation. Proper citation. Copying someone else's writing or paraphrasing it too closely equals plagiarism. Know that any member of the academic community may bring forward any accusation of academic dishonesty to the appropriate college judiciary committee. Faculty, staff within colleges, courses, and academic departments can bring forward any accusation of academic dishonesty. When the Academic Judiciary's office receives an accusation, the student is notified by email and instructed to make an appointment to come in and discuss the accusation. So please be very mindful of that email, subject line, contact Ms. Moore. A student accused of academic dishonesty may appeal the accusation to the relevant judiciary committee. Any accusation that is not appealed will be rendered as a finding of academic dishonesty. By appealing the accusation, the student asserts that he or she did not violate the university policy concerning academic dishonesty. So please go to the Academic Judiciary's website and read top to bottom the policies and procedures on academic integrity. Students may not appeal the instructor's penalty. Again, I'll repeat that. Students may not appeal the instructor's penalty. However, they can appeal the accusation, but not the instructor's penalty. Please know that an F for the course is considered to be the most appropriate penalty grade for an act of academic dishonesty. 2 sentences that are word for word, not paraphrased, not quoted, not properly cited, reported to the Office of the Academic Judiciary, found guilty of academic dishonesty, an F for the course. Please know an F for the course is considered to be an appropriate penalty grade for an act of academic dishonesty. Penalties in the coursework for students found guilty or who have accepted the recommended penalty of the instructor will typically be given a Q grade for the course. This Q grade on your academic record signifies the student has committed an act of academic dishonesty. The Q is then factored in your GPA as an F. So when a student is accused of academic dishonesty, my office, the Academic Judiciary's office, notifies the registrar's office and informs that office to note the student's academic record with the Q. The Q will remain on the academic record until the student completes the university's academic integrity course called the Q course. Not completing the course, the Q grade will remain on the academic record along with the remark of academic dishonesty. So in order to remove the remark of academic dishonesty that is placed on the record and to remove the Q grade, the student has to complete a non-credit academic integrity course called the Q course. The Q course is a 10-week mandated course. Attendance is mandatory. Lateness is not tolerated. Many semesters, students have repeated the Q course because of non-attendance, lateness, or not completing assignments. Again, the Q grade will remain on the record until the academic integrity course, the Q course, is completed. If a student accused is found to have committed 2 or more acts of academic dishonesty, penalty is more severe. The penalty for 2 or more acts of academic dishonesty for a student includes suspension or permanent expulsion from the university. and a permanent notation on the student's academic record of academic dishonesty, and a permanent Q grade for all courses which the student has committed acts of academic dishonesty. Multiple acts of academic dishonesty unfortunately occurs every semester, so please be very mindful of your coursework, paraphrasing, and avoiding plagiarism. How can students protect themselves? Many cases of plagiarism involve students improperly using the internet source. In the previous segment, the librarians went over research. The librarians went over how to paraphrase. If you need a refresher course, know that the library offers workshops on avoiding plagiarism. Take advantage of all the resources on campus. Use the services of the Writing Center for assistance in preparing papers. Use a recognized handbook for instruction on citing sources. Consult with individual faculty members or academic departments when in doubt. Please refer to the Academic Judiciary's website for more information on how students can protect themselves, on avoiding plagiarism and other reports of academic dishonesty. Stony Brook University take this matter very seriously. Over 200 students are reported every academic year for some act of academic dishonesty. Please do not be one of them.
When writing at the college level, you will be expected to use material from other sources. You must take care not to plagiarize. Plagiarism is very serious and the consequences can be severe. One of the ways to avoid plagiarizing is to use paraphrasing. First, let's make sure we understand exactly what it means to plagiarize. Merriam-Webster defines plagiarizing as to steal or pass off the ideas or words of another as one's own, or to use another's production without crediting the source. Plagiarizing is taking somebody else's work or ideas and passing it off as yours. Essentially, it's stealing. There's often confusion about what constitutes plagiarism, and here are some common misconceptions. People frequently think it'll be easy to get away with it, but with tools such as SafeAssign and Turnitin, it is easier and faster than ever to identify plagiarized material. But there are ways to avoid plagiarizing. You can quote, putting exact words or phrases inside quotation marks. You can summarize, briefly restate material, and you can paraphrase, which is putting someone else's ideas into your own words. Whatever tool you use, it is important to remember to cite your sources. There are steps to take to paraphrase properly. First, read the original text until you understand it and are able to explain what it's saying in your own words. Then, without looking at the original, write your paraphrased version. Make sure that you use quotation marks around any terms or phrases that are unique to the original text, and always cite your sources. Now that you have an understanding of how to paraphrase properly, let's look at some things that constitute bad paraphrasing. Bad paraphrasing follows too closely to the original text. It leaves out important ideas or concepts. Bad paraphrasing uses terms that are unique to the original text, but without quotation marks, or merely changes the order or tense of the original. And if you don't cite your source, that's bad paraphrasing. Now let's look at some examples of paraphrasing. Here's the original text. During the last decade, there has been a shift from instructivist approaches towards constructivist approaches in the field of instructional design. Instructivist approaches reflect the belief that the role of knowledge is basically to represent the real world. Meaning is eventually determined by this real world and is thus external to the understander. And here's the first example. Over the last 10 years, there has been a marked change from instructivist points of view to constructivist points of view among instructional designers. Instructivist points of view hold the belief that the role of knowledge is fundamentally to represent the real world. In this view, meaning is determined by the real world and is therefore external to the learner. And example 2. Instructivists hold that the real world, external to individuals, can be represented as knowledge and determines what will be understood by individuals. this view has been shifting to a constructivist view over the past decade. Example 1 follows very close to the original. It's similar in structure, only a few words have been changed, and there's no source cited. Whereas in example 2, you have a cited source, and the writer has restated the main idea and put in quotation marks around the terms from the original text. So in this example, paraphrase example number 1 is bad paraphrasing and would be considered plagiarism. Let's take another look at another example. This time we're using a paragraph from an article on X chromosomes and hemophilia. Here's the original passage. Hemophilia B is an X-linked recessive bleeding disorder caused by a deficiency or functional defect in clotting factor IX with a prevalence of approximately 1 in 25,000 male births. Normal plasma levels of factor IX range from 50 to 150%. Severity of bleeding tendency generally tracks with the degree of factor deficiency, with levels of 6 to 30% defined as mild disease. Look at the two examples. Again, you see that in example number 1, it stays a bit too close to the original and doesn't include citations, while example 2 pulls out the main points and restates them. Example 2 also includes citation to the source of information. So again, example 1 is bad paraphrasing and would be plagiarism. Paraphrasing can be confusing, but it's important to get it right. There are resources available to help you. Purdue University's online writing lab, or OWL, is a good resource and has tips on how to paraphrase. You can also contact the library. You can stop by or email us or chat online with us. We also have a citations and plagiarism guide online. If you have any questions, please contact the library.